You've just finished eating, you're sitting comfortably, maybe watching TV, maybe scrolling on your phone, and without realizing it, your blood sugar is quietly rising. Most people believe that once you sit down after a meal, your metabolism slows and sugar automatically gets stored as fat. But what if I told you that even while sitting, your body has a hidden muscle that can actively lower blood sugar, and most people never use it? Before we go any further, please subscribe to the channel for trusted, science-based health insights designed especially to help you stay healthy, strong, and independent as you age. Now, let's talk about why this matters so much, especially as we get older. Blood sugar control becomes harder with age. Muscles become less responsive to insulin, the liver releases more glucose than it should, and after meals, sugar tends to linger longer in the bloodstream. Over time, this leads to insulin resistance, belly fat, prediabetes, and eventually type 2 diabetes. Doctors often recommend walking after meals, and that advice is solid. Walking activates muscles that pull glucose out of the blood. But real life doesn't always allow for that. Sometimes you're tired, sometimes your knees hurt, sometimes you're simply sitting for long periods. Here's the good news. Your body has a muscle that was designed by evolution to work even when you're sitting. Most people think of the calf as one muscle, but it's actually made of two very different muscles with very different jobs. The muscle you can see on the surface is called the gastrocnemius. It's used for power, running, jumping, climbing stairs. It burns stored sugar quickly and gets tired fast. That's not the muscle we're interested in. Beneath it, deep against the bone, is a lesser-known muscle called the soleus. This muscle is special. Its main job is to keep you upright all day. Because of that, it's incredibly fatigue-resistant. It doesn't rely heavily on stored fuel like most muscles do. Instead, it prefers to draw energy directly from the bloodstream, glucose, and circulating fats. In simple terms, when the soleus is active, it acts like a sponge for blood sugar. A landmark study led by Dr. Mark Hamilton showed that activating the soleus muscle in a very specific way dramatically improved blood sugar regulation, even while people were sitting. In fact, participants saw improvements in glucose control of more than 50% and needed far less insulin to manage their blood sugar. That's important because insulin is the hormone that tells your body to store energy as fat. Less insulin means less fat storage, especially around the belly. So why haven't you heard about this before? Because most exercises don't activate the soleus properly. When you do traditional standing calf raises or walk briskly, the larger surface muscle takes over. To truly activate the soleus, you have to change the position of your body. Here's how it works. You need to be seated. Your feet should be flat on the floor, and your knees should be bent at about a 90-degree angle. This position relaxes the larger calf muscle and forces the deeper soleus to do the work. From here, keep your toes planted on the floor and gently lift your heels as high as you comfortably can. Then let your heels drop back down naturally. That's one repetition. Lift, drop, lift, drop. This movement should feel easy and almost effortless. If you feel burning or cramping, you're trying too hard. This isn't about strength, it's about signaling your metabolism. Because the soleus is designed to work for long periods without fatigue, you can do this movement for minutes at a time. You can do it while eating, while watching television, while reading, or while sitting at your desk. Over time, this steady activation pulls glucose out of your bloodstream and into the muscle, where it's used for energy instead of being stored as fat. This is especially powerful after meals. After you eat, blood sugar rises and insulin increases to manage it. If glucose stays high for too long, insulin keeps rising, and that's when fat storage accelerates. By activating the soleus, you reduce how high and how long blood sugar stays elevated. That lowers insulin demand and protects your metabolism. There's another benefit that's especially important for heart and liver health. After meals, especially meals with fat, your blood becomes rich in triglycerides. If these fats stay in circulation too long, they end up stored in the liver and around the organs. The soleus activates an enzyme that helps clear these fats from the bloodstream. In other words, you're helping your body clean up after meals while sitting still. Now, let's talk about stress. Many forms of exercise, while healthy, raise cortisol, the stress hormone, especially in older adults. High cortisol makes blood sugar control worse and encourages belly fat storage. The soleus movement is different. It doesn't raise your heart rate significantly. It doesn't create lactic acid. It doesn't trigger a fight or flight response. Your nervous system stays calm while your metabolism stays active. That combination is rare and incredibly valuable. So, how do you use this in real life? If you work at a desk or spend long hours sitting, make this your default movement. Anytime you're seated after meals, gently lift and drop your heels. If walking after dinner feels difficult or painful, use this as a backup. 10 to 15 minutes can make a real difference. If you travel and sit for long periods, this helps prevent blood sugar stagnation and swelling in the legs. Walking is still excellent. It provides full-body benefits and supports joint health and mental well-being. But this hidden muscle gives you an option for the moments when walking isn't possible. You're no longer forced to choose between sitting and storing. So remember this simple idea. While you're sitting, your body doesn't have to be inactive. By gently activating the soleus muscle, you can lower blood sugar, reduce insulin spikes, support your liver, and protect your waistline, all without standing up. Keep your toes down, lift your heels, let them drop. Repeat calmly. This is not about pushing harder, it's about working smarter with the body you have. I'll see you in the next video.